What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin' Sports with Jake. We got some more sports talk for you guys, as always. Hope you guys are doing well. MLB postseason division series. Last night, we had Game 4 between, well, it was supposed to be Game 5 between the Guardians and the Yankees. It got rained out. MLB, honestly, shame on them. They handled that so poorly. Have them sit there for 3, 4, 5 hours and then say, oh, it's canceled. Come back tomorrow, 4 o'clock. That's disgusting. And then Brian Cashman said he felt bad for the customers. Oh, Brian Cashman, they're not customers. They're fans. They're not customers. They don't work for you, dude. They're the reason that you guys are generating revenue, or one of the big reasons you're generating revenue. They're spending hundreds of dollars to go watch your team. Your team that should have had 120 wins that had 99 wins. So that was pretty pathetic, if you ask me. But Game 5 is today at 4:07. Start time, I don't know why these shows started at 4 o'clock today. So, but that's what they decided to do. So, go to this. And then tonight at 8:03 p.m., Phillies Padres Game 1 of the NLCS. So, we got for baseball, college football. So I'm doing a recap a day later. Still trying to get things right at the studio. That's why I took some time off. I learn my studio so I can stop all these technical problems I've been having, so I can bring you guys the best product I could possibly get you guys. But we had Georgia ran over Vanderbilt 55-0. They're number 1 in the country for a reason. Vanderbilt, their program isn't exactly a top program either. Number 6, Tennessee upsets number 3, Alabama 52-49. Big SEC rivalry. Tennessee snaps a 15-game losing streak against Alabama. They went in a crazy game, 52-49 on a game-winning field goal. Tennessee was up 28-10 at one point. Alabama took the lead going into the fourth quarter, and then Tennessee and Alabama went back and forth in the fourth quarter, and then eventually Tennessee was able to they were able to. Oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought. They were able to take the lead late with the game-winning field goal. We got Clemson is ranked 4th against maybe Florida State 34-28. Number 5, Michigan beats number 17, Penn State 41-17. Yeah, number 20, Utah upsets number 7, USC 43-42. So Pac-12 gets a lot more interesting with USC, the best team in the Pac-12, losing to probably the 3rd best team in the Pac-12. You could pick whether or not it's Utah or Oregon. Number 13, TCU beats number 8, Ohio State 43-40. Number 9, Ole Miss beats Auburn 48-34. Number 18, Syracuse beats number 15, NC State 24-9 in a bit of an upset. Syracuse is 6 now. Look at that. Syracuse football. Who would have thought? 22, Kentucky beats number 16, Mississippi State in a mini upset 27-17. Oklahoma beats number 19, Kansas, and well, I guess it's an upset since Oklahoma's out of rank 52-42. So Kansas is a little Cinderella run. Appears to be coming pretty much over since they've lost 2 in a row. They probably thought they might have a shot to beat. TCU last week before, and now Oklahoma this past week. Number 22, Texas beats Iowa State 24-21. Number 24, Illinois beats Minnesota 26-14. And Georgia Southern beats number 25, James Madison 45-38. So James Madison suffers their first loss. For NFL, the recap of Week 6. We got, of course, Thursday Night Football, Commanders over the Bears 12-7. These primetime games have pretty much sucked. Giants upset, a bit of an upset. They continue to surprise people. They are now 5-1. They beat the Ravens 24-20. And by the way, for the Ravens, I never thought I'd say this, but I think John Harbaugh's on the hot seat. In their 3 losses, they ended up with Dolphins by 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And they somehow lost. 35-14 lead in the fourth quarter. Lost. They led the Bills 20-3 at the half. They lost that game. And they led the Giants 20-10 with 6 minutes left, and they lost. They've blown 3 double-digit leads already. They blew a 3-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter against Miami. They blew a 17-point halftime against Buffalo, and they blew a 10-point lead with 6 minutes left in the game against the Giants. Ravens should be 6-0, and they're 3-3. Since we won the Super Bowl, what was it, 2012 or whatever year it was? They already haven't done anything. You know, in the AFC Championship a bunch of years back, you know, they had the drop pass in the end zone at the end, the Billy Cundiff shanked the short field goal. You know, they already haven't made I don't think they've been out of the divisional round since. 2019, best team in the league. Lamar Jackson, MVP of the league. And they lose in the second round to inferior Tennessee Titans, who were barely even in the playoffs. Didn't have a great run, but still, you should have won that game. Probably should have lost from the second round. And then, you know, and then 2020, you beat Titans in the wild card round. And divisional round, you know, Lamar Jackson played like crap. Their offense was invisible against the Bills, who did have a great defense and were a great team, but the offense gave them anything. They may have been able to win that game and go to the AFC Championship that year. And then last year, I understand we had a lot of injuries, but still, if you won 2 or 3 games of your final 6, if you went 500 of your final 6 game, which was very possible, you would have been in the playoffs, and you couldn't even do that. You lost 6 straight to lose out in the playoffs. Finished 8-9 in last place in your division, and now you're 3-3. Thankfully, the division is not doing too great. Cincinnati's struggling, Cleveland's struggling, you know, Pittsburgh's not very good, so they're tied for first. But if the Bengals ever find themselves, and if the Browns are even hanging around, if Deshaun Watson is Deshaun Watson, you know, on the field wise, of course, I'm not going to go into anything else with him, of course. But if Deshaun Watson is his like on the field stuff when he comes back and they're hanging in there, Cleveland could easily be a contender. Maybe not so much Pittsburgh, but like Baltimore, you could argue could be the third best team in the division, even though they're tied for first. Colts over the Jaguars, 34-27. Patriots over the Browns, 38-15. Okay, Bailey Zappi, I'm making a hot take. Bailey Zappi, like a 5th-round rookie, he should keep the starting job there. We're gonna remember, this is not like a situation in Dallas where Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush. You know, obviously, they hadn't lost a game with Cooper Rush. He was 5-0 until this game. You know, Cooper Rush overall, Drury didn't play that well. It was really, you know, Drury mainly the defense and the pieces he has around him that were the reason they went 4-1 with Cooper Rush as their starter. I mean, you know, 2 weeks ago, even when they won, he only had 102 yards. And then he threw 3 picks in the game in primetime, which we'll get to very shortly. But Dak Prescott is clearly a much better quarterback. Also, Dak makes like $4 million a year. Cooper Rush is making nothing. It is not like that. You know, like Mac Jones, he's that much better than Bailey Zappi. I don't think he's it's like Dak Prescott. He's probably one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I think he's overrated. I think he's average to above average. So he's probably one of the better starting quarterback. He's in the top 16 starting quarterback in the game. Cooper Rush is, you know, probably shouldn't even be a starter. He's a backup. You know, based on Bailey Zappi's play, I don't think he's that much worse than Mac Jones, even on paper. Also, like, I don't think Dak Prescott from offensive rookie of the year. He's been to the Pro Bowl a couple of times. Mac Jones does not have any accolades that, you know, that Bailey Zappi doesn't. He's not even starter, you know, for 1 year. Well, of course, it's only Jones' second year. And they're both on rookie contracts. They both Mac Jones might make a tiny bit more because he was a first rounder and Zappi was only a 5th round, but they're both on rookie contracts. They are winning with Bailey Zappi. You know, Zappi's played well the first, you know, couple of games. He kind of game managed. You could say, you know, maybe it was the run game, the defense. Maybe you want to give credit to Belichick. But like this past game against Brown, he threw for 300 yards. Threw for 300 yards with, you know, a receiving core that isn't all that great. His top running back is out. You know, he's got, you know, he's got his offensive play cars. He's got one guy, Memphis Patricia, who's a defensive guy, a more failed head coach. Joe Judge, another failed head coach, who's a special teams coach, calling the plays, and he's dropping 300 yards in like his 3rd career game. I don't see how you could take the guy out at this point. That's my take on that. Bengals beat the Saints 30-28. Steelers over the Bucks 20-18. Okay, I want to talk about Tom Brady. I think he's done. I never thought I'd say it, but I think he's done. When he's been under pressure this year, he has the 4th worst QBR in the league when he's under pressure. And I don't think he's all in. He's got other stuff going on. He's getting divorced from his supermodel wife, Giselle. He's got some family issues. And, he's been taking, he's missed a lot of practice time for really no reason. He went out late like Friday night to Robert Kraft's wedding. I know, of course, he was a Patriot star quarterback for 20 years, and Kraft was the owner. They have a good relationship, and they're friends and everything. But Bill Belichick works for Robert Kraft, is like, and he was not at the wedding because he had a game plan for Sunday against the Cleveland Browns. Look what happened. They blew out the Browns by 3 touchdowns, and the Bucs lost to a terrible Pittsburgh Steelers team. He is not all in. In the NFL, you're either all in or all out, and Brady is not all in. Is he all out? I mean, there can't be an in-between in the NFL, so he's definitely not all in. So he's got to clean that up, and the Bucs don't look very good. They're lucky that their division is struggling. Kind of like the Ravens. The Steelers pick up that game. Kenny Pickett got hurt, and then Mr. Trubisky came in relief and led them to a W. You had the Falcons beating the 49ers 28-14. Falcons are a lot better than we thought. Jets beat the Packers 27-10. I'm very happy for the Jets as a Jet fan. They're playing well. They may finally be turning the corner. Zach Wilson didn't play great, but their defense looks really, really good. They got so much young talent. This kid, Sauce Gardner's cornerback, oh my God, he is a beast already. Breece Hall looks really good. They ran the ball really well. They play great on defense. And the Packers, they should be concerned. The Packers should be panicking. Aaron Rodgers looks almost washed. They got no receivers. Heading into the year, they already had a bad receiving core, and now they got their top 3 receivers, 3 or top 4 guys around, I think. Christian Watson is out. Tim Watkins is out. Now Randall Cobb is going to miss a few weeks. So outside of Al-Lazard, who's probably a third receiver, an okay third receiver, I don't think he's anything special. He's not a bad player, but he's no star for sure. And Romeo Doubs, who's played pretty well as a rookie, but he's a 4th or 5th round rookie. Can't expect him to be Devontae Adams in year 1. Like they should be concerned. The O-line has not been good, but defense has not been as good as we thought it was going to be. They're in trouble. Vikings beat the Dolphins 24-16. The Dolphins quarterback carousel continues. Skylar Thompson got hurt. They had to go back to Teddy Bridgewater. The Vikings pick up a win. Rams over the Panthers 24-10. Rams should be a little concerned, but they did get the ball in Allen Robinson's hands a little more. He had 5 catches, 63 yards, and a score, which was good. So it looks like Cam Akers will be getting traded. That's why he was a healthy scratch, it looks like. But still, like Matthew Stafford, he's struggling. He's got to pick it up. And the Panthers look like a dumpster fire. No quarterback. Baker's hurt. They got no head coach, no defensive coordinator. The play calling is horrible with Ben McAdoo. Their interim coach, Steve Wilkes, said Baker's, going to have to compete to get the job even when he's healthy. Sam Darnold's their top backup, who's even worse than Baker. He's probably the worst starter in the league, maybe. He's hurt. PJ Walker's not any good. Their team is just god-awful. And now they might be traded. Their best player, Christian McCaffrey, might be getting traded. They just traded Robbie Anderson, the Arizona Cardinals. That was a big trade. Of course, after Robbie Anderson was ejected from the game by his own coach for arguing with the receiver coach. Their defense isn't very good. They are a dumpster fire. They need to blow that thing up. They might have a number 1 pick in the draft this year. They are very, very bad. Seahawks over the Cardinals 19-9. I don't say about the Cardinals. I mean, they lose Marquise Brown for the year, who's been their top receiver. They get DeAndre Hopkins back, which is huge. He's already a top 3 receiver in the game. He's back from suspension. You pick up Robbie Anderson, who when he has a good quarterback, has played well. He's last year didn't have a great year and hasn't put up good numbers this year. But he also had really bad quarterback play, so hopefully he can help. But something's up with this team. On paper, they should probably be a playoff team, but they're not. They're not. You scored 9 points against one of the worst defenses in the league. You're kind of saying, it hasn't felt this worse since they were the worst since it was my rookie year, and of course they struggled. But Kyler Murray, I don't know about this kid. I like him. He's too inconsistent. There's sometimes he looks like an absolute superstar. Looks like defying the odds of being only 5'8", and looking on TV looks like he's about 3'8". Got this cannon of an arm. He can make a ton of plays with his legs. He can make the big throws. Obviously saw what he did with that Hail Murray. I think that was a year or two ago. That was an incredible play, very historical play. And sometimes he looks like he shouldn't be in the league. He's erratic with the football, turning over the football. Can't even score on one of the worst D's in the league. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about this kid. I just don't know. Bills beat the Chiefs 24-20. Great game, went down to the wire again. Bills score a touchdown throw a touchdown pass to Dawson Knox with a minute left, and then Mahomes got picked off on the last drive. Another great game. Eagles beat the Cowboys 26-17 on Sunday Night Football. Eagles were up 23 at the half. Dallas started coming back, but Eagles hang on. Like I said, Cooper Rush threw 3 picks. Nick Sirianni's even screaming, that's effing game, F you. I like this guy, Sirianni. He's a good football coach. When they hired him, I wasn't sure. I was a little unsure about him. I didn't know much about him. He's a good coach. I like this guy. And he's very fiery. I would love to play for him if I was a player. Chargers, Broncos. Chargers win 19-16 in overtime. What's going on, Denver? The Broncos are garbage. They should be 0-6. They won 11-10 and maybe the worst game in NFL history against the Niners when Jimmy Garoppolo pulled Dan Orlovsky and stepped out of bounds in his own end zone for a safety. And then what was the other game they won? I don't remember. I don't even care. They're also the Raiders, who were one of the worst teams in the league. Also the Seahawks week 1 and the huge revenge game. All the crap that Russell Wilson talking, he loses to Geno Smith. Are you kidding me? Russell Wilson looks completely washed. He got to a good start yesterday, but then was 3 of 11 for 15 yards in the second half in overtime. Nathaniel Hackett, his play calling reminds me of Adam Gase. He's got to go. Russell Wilson's making $49 million a year on his new extension, and he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. That looks like a complete dumpster fire. Their top back, Javonte Williams, is out for the season. Their left tackle, Garrett Bowles, a Pro Bowler, he's out for the season. Melvin Gordon is now their top running back. He's kind of like a co-star with Javonte Williams. He's frustrated. Players want to be there. He got pissed off and then he got benched. It's looking bad in Denver. It's looking bad. That's the NFL. I'm talking about some waiver wire editions. Before I do that, I just want to mention that the Panthers are considering trading Christian McCaff right now. I think I mentioned that when I was going over the games. They said that they're willing to listen to offers on their star back, but it may be tough to complete. There's one, keep a lookout for that trade deadline coming up in about 2 weeks. For your waiver wire guys, Kevin Drake had 10 carries, 119 yards on the score. You might be getting Gus Edwards back. And maybe Justice Hill, but Justice Hill does usually is really there for depth. I think Dobbins might be hurt again. So I think he's a good guy to definitely pick up. Latavius Murray for the Broncos. He had 15 carries for 66 yards. Melvin Gordon was banged under only 3 carries. Mike Boone only had 1 carry. You could argue right now he's the running back to own in Denver. Scoop him up. Can't hurt. Keep him on the bench. Rondale Moore. I know they're getting Hopkins back and they bring in Robbie Anderson, but Hopkins, hasn't played since Hopkins missed the last 5-6 games of the regular season last year, so he hasn't played it's been almost a year since he's played an NFL regular season game. I don't think he's gonna be the top receiver that we know right away. Robbie Anderson. First of all, Robbie Anderson has 13 catches this year. He's had Baker Mayfield and Peter Walker as 4 bucks. But at the end of the day, 13 catches in 6 games. And now he's going to a completely new team, a completely new, new system. I don't think he's going to, be able to be a really good playmaker although he can be right away. So Rondale Moore, obviously he's back from his injury. He's seeing some decent targets. He might be a guy that Kyler Murray might look to. He might, so they can, let Hopkins and Robbie get acclimated. With Marquise Brown now, he might be the best receiver in fantasy football, at least for this upcoming week. Deion Jackson, then we got nicked up, but if he's healthy, he had a big game. He had 22 touches and went for 121 yards, including 10 catches. If Jonathan Taylor is out, he is almost a must start. Caleb Huntley, him and Algier were split. Carries-wise, he had 6. Now got at 15, but I thought was a little more efficient. 59 young with Cordell Paris now. He's probably the best back to own for Atlanta running back. Wendell Robinson, for a touchdown. Receiver room is depleted. He's probably their second best receiver at this point. Pick him up. Just got there with so many. Alec Pierce, so stars, had a couple of nice games. If he's available, he's I started him this past week and he had a nice game. And the tight end from Denver, Greg Dulcich. I know Russell Wilson has looked like crap, but just Russell Wilson just can't get the receivers the ball. Javonte Williams is hurt. The running back room's into the shambles with Williams hurt. Melvin Gordon just got benched. He might be getting traded. You got Mike Boone out who doesn't have a lot of experience. Latavius Murray just got there. And, Albert O was just a healthy scratch. Clearly not happy with him. So Greg Dulcich for now is the Denver starting tight end. He called he had a 39-yard touchdown this past week. If Russ might be playing a little nicked up. Supposedly, coming into the game, he had, a little procedure on his hand or something, and now he hurt his hamstring. He might, look to check the ball down a lot more, and when he does that, he's going to look for Dulcich. So definitely pick him up. He's probably the best tight end on the waiver wire. Quick Smith caught a touchdown. The Saints have done their top 2 receivers. Jameis or Andy Dalton, whoever it is, got the ball to somebody besides Alvin Kamara, who's of course not even a receiver. Tyquan Thornton. He had 4 37 yards in the score, also had a rushing touchdown. Patriots don't have a lot of options on offense. Their receiving core is not very deep. They're down their top back. Damien Harris, run receiving has been playing great, but definitely pick up Tyquan Thornton. And Robert Anderson, if he's available now, with Marquise Brownell and DeAndre Hopkins coming off a suspension. Of course, he was hurt at the end of last year, like I said, hasn't played in almost a year. He could be a guy now with a good quarterback. Possibly could actually produce. Maybe he's available. Pick him up. Josh Reynolds, if he's available, he's had almost 13 PPR points. 4 straight games where he's coming off a bye. He gets Dallas, a tough matchup, but you should at least pick him up, have him on your bench. He's probably their second best receiver right now, even with DJ Shark coming back. And I mentioned Kenyon Drake, but Gus Edwards, if he's healthy, he's your top back. And if he's available, if Dobbins is out, he will be the starter. I still think Drake will have some volume either way, but definitely pick up Gus Edwards as well if he's available. And Mike Boone, I know he didn't do much, but if Melvin Gordon, is unhappy, and if he's going to be gone in 2 weeks, it's Mike Boone and Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray, has been a backup for quite a while in the NFL, and he's only been on the team that was his first game with the team. He was on the practice squad for a couple of weeks, and they just brought him to the active roster. So, Mike Boone might be running back to own that within the next 2 or 3 weeks, so I would pick him up now. And let's go a couple of quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo gets the Chiefs, who have been good against the pass, so he can be a good body replacement. These are all body replacement quarterbacks. If James is healthy, even though he doesn't have he doesn't have receivers, he could be startable playing Arizona. His defense isn't good. Even Davis Mills is coming up against the Raiders, whose defense is terrible. So, recap what happened in the NHL. We got the Bruins over the Panthers 5-3. This is all from last night. Kings over the Red Wings 5-4 in overtime. Canadians over the Penguins 3-2 in overtime. My Rangers picked up a nice win. They beat the Ducks 6-4. He's abandoned 2 goals, 2 assists. Mika looks insane. He's also a great star, as is Artemi Panarin. I'm very happy about that. Coyotes over the Maple Leafs 4-2. Capitals over the Canucks 6-4. Avalanche over the Wild 6-3. Stars over just 4-1. Hurricanes over the Kraken 5-1. I'm actually gonna push back my NBA preview to tomorrow. But I decided to do apology, but I promise I will get that to you guys tomorrow. Do not miss it. That's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, so long and have a great day.